The man selling lunchboxes at the school gate turned out to be the mysterious chairman of a trillion-dollar overseas conglomerate. And it all started when his daughter was bullied by a thug. At that moment, the arrogant cafeteria manager kicked over the man's lunchbox stall just because the man's meals were cheap and tasty. They stole business from the school cafeteria, so he brought thugs to cause trouble, even tried to lay hands on the girl. At the critical moment, the manager's brother-in-law arrived. Seeing this, the manager became even more arrogant, but the next second, the brother-in-law's second brother rushed in and slapped him, scolding him for daring to touch the girl. The manager was about to fight back, but was held back by his brother-in-law, who told him to take a good look at the man in front of him. The manager had no choice but to tremble and greet the second brother. What shocked everyone even more was that the second brother respectfully stood behind the lunchbox seller and called him Big Brother. The manager was instantly dumbfounded. He couldn't believe the man selling lunchboxes was the same chairman of the Zhengda Chamber of Commerce who once terrified all of New York 8 years ago. Also the head of a major crime syndicate. Now that his identity was revealed, the manager was scared out of his wits. Immediately dropped to his knees, begging for mercy and slapping himself. But the man just looked at him coldly. Then the second brother did some quick math, claiming the compensation for the ruined lunch and emotional damage totaled $100 million. The manager who only ran a cafeteria couldn't possibly afford it, despite begging desperately. He even offered to give up the rights to the cafeteria to settle the debt. But the second brother declared Zhengda had overseas mines. Years of war left them short on workers. They planned to send this bunch to work in the mines. If lucky, they'd lose limbs. If unlucky, their ashes would be mailed home. Now the manager completely broke down. He blamed everything on the thug. Just then, a luxury car sped to the scene. The manager's sister stepped out. She had rushed over after hearing her brother was beaten. Without hesitation, she turned her anger toward the man, her words full of contempt and disdain. She was sure he was just trying to extort money. She even ignored her husband's warnings and pushed him aside. She didn't believe a lunchbox seller could be anybody important. She instead blamed her husband for being useless, saying he couldn't even protect his own brother-in-law. The man calmly looked at the rude woman, then pulled out his phone and made a call. The manager's sister thought he was calling for backup and mocked him even more. But shortly after her phone rang, on the other end, her assistant was panicking, saying all company partners had suddenly canceled their contracts. The bank was aggressively collecting debts. The company's cash flow had collapsed. Stock prices had hit rock bottom. And worst of all the company's accounts were frozen. The system had completely crashed.